I am so excited that you guys are joining me for this today. Again, sorry for the delay there. That was totally my bust. My internet just decides that it's going to be funky, and that's what it's going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and just introduce our topic and our guest for today. We are talking about the best housekeeping tool that will make your life easier. And when I tell you that when I was writing that title that I could not have come up with anything more perfect, I am so very serious. Jim and I have had quite a few meetings in anticipation of this webinar. And today's guest is obviously Jim Duncan. And this is a picture of his beautiful family. I just want to tell you guys, this is just really a big deal for us to have Jim on. We've actually been working with ResortCleaning, which is the name of his company. We've been working with them for a few months to get an integration together, and we have an integration that's live. And not only are you going to get to hear from Jim today, but you're going to get to hear from Hunter Harrelson. He's going to come on at the end and just kind of tell you how he's using ResortCleaning as a property manager. He's the owner of Beach Ball Properties, and he's going to talk to you about how this integration really changed the way that they do things. And so I'm really excited, but this is a picture of Jim's family. That's his beautiful wife, Emily, over there. They have 3 kids. Brax is 12, and then they have twin girls, Abby and Alex, who are 11. Jim has been in the vacation rental industry since 2004. He then started ResortCleaning in 2008 and now works with thousands of property managers all across the United States and Canada. And he is just really, he understands the problems that you guys face when it comes to hiring and sustaining and maintaining your cleaning and housekeeping sections of your business. So Jim, thank you so much for being on today. We are so excited to have you. Thank you again. And I'll let you take it away.
Thank you so much, Brittany. It's really, really exciting for us to be here because, like you said, this started in 2008 and it's not been anything easy about it. What we're doing in housekeeping is very unique, and really, to long story short, we've spent a long time and continue to spend time in the trenches, if you will. And, you know, if we're going to be providing housekeeping software, then we must understand housekeeping, every angle of it. So whether, you know, you're working with an internal model and have employees handling your own housekeeping internally, or if you're subcontracting, you know, we work with property managers that handle both. But to understand this, we've dug deep with the cleaning companies and understand the challenges that they face. And what we simply do at this point is we're just listening to the users, from the cleaning companies to the property managers, and you guys are telling us what we need to develop, and that's what we do. So we're very excited to show you what we've worked so hard on, but we're in constant development mode. We're always rolling out new features and have new things in the pipeline, and we'd love to hear your feedback and your ideas for what you need going forward. But with that, we'll get started and kind of show you where we are today. So when you log in, this will be your dashboard, and you know, of course, we're gonna try to walk you as quickly as we can through the setup process just to show you that, and then at the end we'll kind of pull this thing back together. We're going to talk about this, a lot, but what I want you to realize is no matter how long we spend on this today, you really will spend very little time actually working inside this system. We want to automate everything that we can, but with that, we'll go ahead and go through the setup process. But this is the dashboard, and the first thing that we'll need to do is we'll go in and add, I'll show you how you can add an employee. Now, you don't have to add anybody. You can have unlimited number of users logging into your main login if you wish. But if you want to give supervisors their own login, you can do that. And one very common way that property managers use this is to add an employee. Brittany, let's go to the next screen and I'll show. So in this case, we were using Jane Doe, but what really most people use this for maybe front desk, and you might have front desk, maybe you have some temporary help during your peak season. You can create a login for front desk and this will make sense as we go through the presentation, and I'll show you a little later, but you can limit their access. So in this case, you'll see Brittany's got the status center checked, and you can, that will give the front desk personnel just access to that one section. They can't see everything else. It's a view only mode. And so just know that you can have an unlimited number of users. You can, in some cases, limit their access in which parts of the system you want them to see. So you can add employees. Next, we'll move on to the cleaner section. So if you click on your cleaners tab, again, we're going to assume that most people are subcontracting their housekeeping, but if you're not, please know that this will work for you either way. When you click on add a cleaner, you've got two options. Connect with an existing cleaner or add a new. Now, the connect with an existing cleaner is there because depending on where you are, what part of the country you're in, what market you're in, we may have cleaning companies in that area already using resort cleaning, but inevitably as time goes on, we're going to have cleaning companies in your area because you're going to bring them in, or other property managers bring them in. And when they already have a resort cleaning account, you won't need to set them up a new account. Rather, you would just connect with their existing account. But to add a new cleaner, you click on the add a cleaner button, and you'd simply put the company name and information in. Now, what's going to happen is when you do that, it's going to create your cleaning company their own account. And when I say cleaning company, I get it. Cleaning companies come in all shapes and sizes. So if it's, an individual, owner operator that you got, and say it's just Jim Duncan and he's a one-man crew, you can enter company name Jim Duncan. Doesn't matter the size of the company. At the bottom of this page, you'll see the billing mode, and we'll go ahead and talk about our billing structure. It's simply one of two things. It's either the cleaner pays or property manager pays. Now, it's important to understand our philosophy here. We charge 99 cents per completed appointment. I want to specify completed appointment because, if you guys have a reservation that comes in and they cancel, well, then you didn't make any money on that. The cleaning company didn't provide a service or make any money. So we didn't really feel that it makes sense for us to get paid on that. So you're only billed, or the cleaner is only billed for completed appointments. Now, I will say this, if you're adding a new cleaning company, I get it. You may feel like you need to pay the resort cleaning fee. We see that handled different ways. Sometimes the property manager says, hey, I'll up your departure clean price $1, and they can bill, resort cleaning can bill you. I'll split it with you. That's up to you guys. But I will say this, the cleaning companies find tremendous value and benefit in using this software. There's no software in the world that's more customized to their world than resort cleaning. So 95% of our users, the cleaner is the one that pays the resort cleaning fee. But again, we leave that up to you guys. We don't double dip. It's just 99 cents. So once you add your cleaner, you'll see them in your list of cleaners. And again, there's no limits here. You can have one cleaner, 100 cleaners, does not matter. There does tend to be a lot of turnover in this side of it. So if you ever need to part ways with someone, you can, in your action button over there on the right, we don't have that screenshot, but you can click on that, and one of the options is deactivate. You can deactivate. It does not wipe them off the face of the earth. It just simply moves them to an inactive status, and they're hidden away, and you can always bring them back. So at this time next year, they come back and they beg their way back into your good graces, and you want to try them again, you can simply activate them, and they'll show up in your active cleaner list. But there's how you'll add your cleaner. And from there, we'll move on to the property section. Now, we're going to walk through real quick and show you how to add an individual property. Please don't panic. If you've got 100 properties or hundreds of properties, we'll help you with that. We'll do that for you on our end, and you won't have to enter them one at a time. But to add a property, you go to the Add a Property page. And here you'll enter the information. Now you can enter as little or as much information as you'd like. There are really a couple of required fields here. We got to have a property name, okay, and we need to know the time zone. So everything else is optional, but if you want to put the abbreviation, I will tell you the address, the property address is very important. It can be, because we'll get to this a little later on the housekeeper functions there. We've got a really nice app And if the housekeeper needs to know where to go and you've got the full address here, then they'll be in their app, they'll have a link to Google Maps if they ever are confused about where they need to go. One other area I'd point out to you is the notes. This is, we're going to redevelop our little notes section here and offer some more options, but right here, these are permanent notes. And let's just say, for example, you're in a coastal area or whatever, and you, every time you want to tell your housekeeper, set the AC on 78, don't let the cat out, whatever it is you want to tell them every time, put it right here, and that will be displayed for them every time on their work order, again, that they can get through their app or through their printed work order copy that they're given. So if from there, numbers of bedrooms and baths, that's pretty important. I mean, to them, that's typically how you guys are basing your pricing. But again, enter as little or as much information as you'd like. So once we enter that, you'll see the property listed on your properties page. And the next step here is you'll need to assign that to a cleaning company. So your cleaning companies are only going to see, if you've got 100 properties and you want to assign 2 properties to a cleaning company, they're only going to see what you allow them to see. In this case, we would select Pinnacle Cleaning Service and we would assign that. And then the next screen, you would see that it was successfully assigned, and you would see the cleaner listed in your cleaner column. Now, you can also, it's important to know, some people assign multiple cleaning companies to a property. Now, when they do that, you're going to always have one default cleaner, because we're going to get to the automation here in just a minute. When the cleaning company gets the property assigned to them, you may want to have custom pricing for different cleaning companies for the same property. So you might have your main cleaner, and then you might have a backup cleaner, and you decide you want to pay one of them $100 and the next one $90. You can custom, or you can tell them the custom price to enter, and they never see anything but their price. Now you'll notice the price field, and then they also have an employee or housekeeper cost field, and that's to help them on their payroll. They don't have to use that, but it's there for them. So when they enter their pricing, the next screen you'll see on your side, you'll see at the bottom, and this is just a portion of the property page. For each property at the bottom, you'll see that you've got Pinnacle Cleaning Service, and they're the default cleaner. Now, if you had multiple cleaning companies listed there, you could choose who do you want the default cleaner to be. But again, the pricing is customized, and they don't see anybody else's price. So we've got the property set up and moving along. Now, here's the good part. All right, so and listen, I just want to say this. Working with VRM is, I couldn't say enough good things about VRM and those guys. I had a meeting with Pete and Michael, and I'd have to look back on the dates, but it was exactly 3 weeks to the day from our first meeting to the time we rolled out this integration live. Now, I won't tell you that we always get everything right the first time. I'd never tell you that, but I will tell you that their team is very responsive. We went live in 3 weeks, and that says a lot about their commitment on their end. But on your properties page, you'll come here and click on Configure Integrations, and you'll choose VRM. When you do, you'll simply add your VRM ID, and go back one, Brittany. Your VRM ID, and then you'll add how many days in advance to schedule. So in this case, 12 months. When you save that, it will take you to the next page, which is your properties page. You'll simply enter your VRM property ID with the corresponding property in Resort Cleaning and update that. And it's as simple as that. Now you're going to be automated. Okay. Moving along, we'll see when you see those green dots beside the property name, that's just an indicator letting you know that that property is set up for automated scheduling. So if you don't see that, you'll know that you don't have the property ID in there for those. Now we'll kind of go back and start over again. So now your setup process is finished. You're on your home page. So this is where you'll start. You've got 3 properties entered. And just to let you know, next screen would be the schedule of cleaning. In the upper right-hand corner on your home page, you'll see that link. And again, right above that, you'll also see the shortcut. So if you're elsewhere in the system, you don't have to reroute through the home page to schedule a cleaning. Now, please don't panic. Your scheduling is going to be automated, but I want to show you the manual process to schedule a cleaning. So clicking on either one of those links takes you to this page, and you will select your property in the drop-down menu. And if you've got an abbreviation, that information is pre-filled. The cleaner, you've always got to have a default cleaner, so the cleaner information is there. If you want to change the cleaner, you can. This default service, which is typically always departure clean, and the default price is set up. Now, if you said, hey, I need to book a deep clean, well, you could just simply change the service from departure clean to deep clean, and it would change the price. So the only two pieces of information that aren't filled in for you are the arrival date and departure date. Now, you could schedule maintenance or something here. You might not need to put an arrival date. We would just still use that departure date field as our appointment date. But this is how you manually schedule, and this is how we started on day one. I'm happy to, again, talk today about automated integration, but this is the manual scheduling process. So moving along, when you hit schedule, it will notify you that your appointments were scheduled successfully. It'll just pop up real quick and disappear, and then back to the home page we go. Now, I want to point out here, these appointments are the ones that we just scheduled, and there are 8 of them, okay? And they're orange, meaning they're in the unconfirmed status. Now, this is an important part because we know that the cleaning company, we're sharing a calendar. Again, I'll emphasize they're only seeing what they're supposed to see. They're not seeing our full calendar, and you wouldn't see any of their other property managers' information on there as well. But these are the 8 unconfirmed appointments we just scheduled. Now, you'll also see on the right, you'll see that there's a link, and you can click on that, and it would show you the 8, because they may not all be on this 1 or 2 calendars that we're looking at, which of course you can click and you can go to any calendar you want. But if it's in July, you don't need to click over in July and see that calendar. You probably aren't even clicking on this link, but know that this is the view that you have. You can click on that, and if you do click on that, the next page would be, actually, this is the cleaning company's view, and it looks identical to yours with exception they have the confirm button and you don't, because we want the cleaning company to simply, and it could be 8 or 800 appointments, but we want them to confirm them, and they do so with 2 clicks. Select all, click confirm, and everything is now in the status that we want to get it to, which is confirmed. So moving along, you'll see that the color changed to now green confirmed, and those appointments are set. We just, again, want that acknowledgement from them. And what that does is eliminates the age-old conversation of, why weren't you where you're supposed to be? And they say, because you didn't tell me. We've eliminated that. Once these appointments are in the system, the delete function doesn't exist. We can cancel them, or they could be canceled. If your reservation canceled, VRM would cancel them automatically. But we have a record of when it was canceled, who canceled it, and you can always look it up in the cancel status. But I'm kind of getting off track. So these appointments are confirmed. Now, if we see on today's date, moving forward, we've got 3 confirmed appointments today. You also see those 3 appointments in your status center at the top of this page. We're going to talk more about in detail about that in just a minute, but that is the feature where you guys can track the progression of your day, or your front desk personnel may want to keep up with, where the housekeepers are in case somebody wants to check in early. So moving forward with that, I want to show you, kind of getting off of your view onto the cleaner's view. I want to show you how easy it is for the cleaners. We won't go through all their steps, but just know that they can add their housekeepers, and they've got a list of active housekeepers. And in this case, we'll use my kids. We'll put them to work. So we can easily assign, as a cleaning company, I can assign, 1 of these to Alex and 2 of these to Abby. And so just by selecting them in the drop down. Now, what that's going to do for us as we move forward, Abby is going to log in to her app. Now, I get it. If Abby doesn't have an app, we can still distribute this work order through email. They can give them a hard copy, and they could actually text in the status. But our app we're really excited about that. It's been very well received, and There's just a matter of time before everybody out there has a smartphone, and most do now. But Abby will simply log into her app and she'll see her 2 appointments. And I do apologize. I didn't make the best screenshot right here. The app is really, really cool, and there's more things I'd like to show you here. But this lets her know that this property is vacant. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute, but she goes to Dream Condo 1. If she needs to know how to get there, there's the address. So when she gets there, she's simply going to check in, and it's just a click of the button. Are you want to check in? Okay. All right. What that does is it notifies on the cleaning company side, but more importantly for you guys on your side, you'll see that she has indeed checked into that property. Now, it is 6:51 p.m., and I'm sure you don't want them checking in that late. But and if you look at 12/9, that is on a Saturday night. So that, unfortunately, is how I spend my Saturday nights when I was making these screenshots. But you get the point. They're able to check in. It's going to timestamp it. And moving forward, you will see that she checked out, and she also, when a quality control check or QC check is performed, then it will timestamp it, and it will also mark that appointment as complete. So we see that we have 1 completed appointment, 2 confirmed appointments left. All right. This is the view. Go back. I'm sorry, Brittany. Go back 1. So we see we have 3 appointments there at the top in our status center. Now we'll display up to 4 right there, but if there's more than 4 appointments, or even if there's 3 appointments, by clicking the View All button, going to that next screenshot, this page, we've got it designed for your front desk personnel. This page won't time out for 8 hours. So when they get there in the mornings, they could open up the page, they can minimize it, forget about it, and if a guest comes in, 1 o'clock and says, can I check in early, they can just pull the page back up, and every minute it's updating, so it's in real time. So they can simply pull the page back up and check the status of the appointments during the day. Now, the vacant feature, this is something, you can use it or not use it, but if you want, you can give your guests the instruction to say, when you leave, will you text this number? And if they leave early and they text they've left early, then it will simply mark this unit as vacant. And we all know that during the peak season, that can be critically important. Even if it's 15 minutes early, we can get that housekeeper in there. That can be critically important on turnarounds. So just know that that's there. And if that's ever something you're interested in, we can speak in more detail and show you how to use that feature. All right, so that's the status center. Again, once these units are marked as complete, if they're not QC complete, because you may say you don't want to use a status center, the cleaning company can still mark them as complete on their side, and when they do, you'll see that these 3 appointments are now color-coded in blue, indicating they're complete. Now, the cleaning company cannot invoice you for anything but a completed appointment. So they can't invoice you for an unconfirmed appointment, an overdue appointment. They can't invoice you for a confirmed appointment. They can't invoice you for a completed and invoiced appointment. After an invoice is created, it changes the status. Now, they could delete the invoice if it was incorrect, which would change the status back to complete. But in this case, again, that's all there for your protection, for their accuracy, and you don't ever have to worry about them billing you twice for the same appointment. Now, so you'll notice in the billing section now that it's got an indicator that there's 1 invoice there waiting, and it takes them about 30 seconds to generate an invoice for you. And so if you clicked on your billing tab, you've got an indicator there letting you know there's an invoice there, and you could simply check the box on that invoice and choose to print it, and this is the format that your cleaning company can send that invoice to you. And of course, if you've got multiple cleaning companies, the great thing about that is you're getting them all in the same format and same place, and it's instant. When they create the invoice for you, it's instantly showing up on your side. Now, right now you're probably getting an invoice on a Excel spreadsheet, one of them from QuickBooks, and one of them on a McDonald's napkin. You don't have to worry about that anymore. They're all going to be in the same format, and they're all going to be saved in the same place for you. So that really is it. So moving forward, I just want to maybe kind of recap this. So I went through a lot there, including the setup process, but I want to start over and I want to give you the really, really quick, 15-second version of this. Again, you guys are going to have all of your scheduling is going to be automated. So when you log in first thing in the morning, you're going to have, of course, you're going to have completed appointments and confirmed appointments everywhere. But to make this point, you're going to log in and say, hey, there are 8 reservations that we booked last night while we were asleep, through whatever outlet. 8 unconfirmed appointments. You're not going to do anything. You're going to know that's happened. The next screen, your cleaning company is going to confirm those appointments for you. Hey, we have 3 today. Great. We see that the cleaning company knows about them. The next screen, they're going to mark them, or I'm sorry, your front desk can be notified of the status throughout the day in case somebody wants to check in early. And at the end of the day, those are marked as complete and they can invoice you. So the reality is there's really not a lot of time that you guys are going to spend inside this every day. One thing, and we may click over here in a minute, but one page that we didn't really, just to save time on the screenshots, we didn't get into the view appointments page. But if that is where all of your records are stored, and if you ever need to look something up, again, nothing can be deleted from the system. Notes, I say on the notes, don't ever say anything ugly about somebody because you can't delete them. So if there was a red wine stain on the sofa or whatever, then there's notes about with that. Now, Brittany, are we going to look at that view appointments page, or should I go ahead and kind of tell them at this point about the next couple of features?
Yeah, we can absolutely go look at that view appointments page if you'd like. I actually have it pulled up really quick. Let me pull it up right over here. And does that look right?
Yeah. Yes. Yep. So we're in a test account here, and what I just want to point out to you on your view appointments page, again, you have a record of everything here, and on this particular one, we've got 2 appointments today. The page you open is always going to default to the current day, but if you just look in the filter section up there, you can pull any report that you want to pull. If you said, let me look back at January of last year and pull a report and say, well, what are we going to, you can go to, so click, there you go. You can go by the year or whatever. So January the 1st, 2016. If she did that, then we would see a report from last January. And why would you want to do that? I don't know. You may want to see what volume you did last January. You may want to see, now we just pulled a report for the entire year, all right? And we see 361 appointments. So see how quick that was? There's a yearly report, actually 2-year report.
It's actually a 2-year. I was going to say that's 2 years actually.
Yep. So if you notice there in the TA column there, you see some red yeses. That's just an indicator letting you know that it was a turnaround or a back-to-back. And you can sort these pages by any of these sort it by any of the columns. You can look at it by cleaning company. You can filter it at the top by cleaning company, by property, any way you can imagine. Status, and again, you see in the status field there, you see the completeds. And if Brittany scrolls back down, you'll see the completed and invoiced. And I'm rambling now, but I'm kind of bouncing around there. My point is this: anything you ever need to know is going to be on this page. Now, Brittany, if you will, go in and display price, if you will. Did we do that already? Okay. Yeah. So in display, if we display price, and we hide the price because I don't want you to have to tackle your computer monitor if somebody's standing in your office and you don't want them to see the pricing. So you can click display price, and you'll notice that the 240 is highlighted in red. And it's highlighted in red because the price can be changed on any given appointment by either you or the cleaning company. In some cases, the cleaning company is the one driving this thing and they're making most of the changes. In other cases, it's the property manager. So we give you both the opportunity to do that. If it's indicated in red, that says somebody changed this thing at least a penny. So any changes is highlighted so nobody misses anything. You would could click on that, open it up to view and add the notes, and you'd probably see why it was highlighted in red. In this case, there are no notes, but you would typically expect to see, the sofa was in the swimming pool when the spring breakers left. Now, this is leads us into our next feature. We're going to be rolling out, we're hoping in the next 90, 120 days to have this complete. You'll be able to upload photos for each property. And back to the app that we were discussing, the housekeepers can easily open their app and click on photos, and they'll be able to see a beautiful display of photos of exactly what that property should look like in a perfect condition. Now, the housekeeper will also be able to upload photos, and you can use it or not use it. Different people will use it for different reasons. But in my mind, I'm thinking if I'm a housekeeper and I walk into that disaster that the spring breakers left, then uploading those photos, when they say, hey, this place was really a mess, that's one thing. Nobody really feels their pain. But when they are able to upload photos and show that mess, I think it's important for a property manager to realize just how bad of a mess we're talking about. And, so it may be, here's the red wine stain on the sofa, and document that. Just like notes, those photos will always be saved for that appointment. So inspectors will be able to upload photos as well. So we're very excited about the photo upload option. And again, I'll stop talking about the view appointments page now, but that's where your history, your present, and your future is all saved right here.
That's so awesome. We actually have one person that's going to come on. We have Hunter Harrelson from Beach Ball Properties, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about how he uses resort cleaning. Now, I think that I've never done this before, adding somebody who's just a listener as a presenter. So it might take me just a second, everybody, so be patient with me. So I think, honestly, I don't know that I can add him because he's a phone call in instead of clicking the Zoom link. But I can actually have him, I can call him later today and kind of get some quotes from him and maybe, do a little talk with him later today, and he can tell me about resort cleaning. I've already actually heard quite a few things because this webinar has been on the books for a while. And for those of you that were actually there in Wilmington on Tuesday, we had Hunter there, and he was telling me about resort cleaning there, as well as a couple of other people that I know that use resort cleaning through VRM. And this is really exciting for us because, at VRM, we do a really, really, really good job of integrating. And so this was, exciting for us that somebody actually wanted to integrate it with us and was as responsive as we were with the integration. So the integration went really smoothly. And one thing that Jim didn't talk about that I found really interesting when he was talking to me was that one of the things that he does is that when he gets a property manager that signs on for the software, and they have a cleaning company, he generally has a lot of people in different areas. And so one of the things that he's kind of developed is this relationship with these cleaning companies because they love resort cleaning. And so they don't have to log in to multiple softwares, messing up your numbers, messing up your books, getting access to information that's sensitive. It's a whole lot less setup when they have resort cleaning already. And one of the things that he actually does is people will call him all the time and say, hey, Jim, I need a new cleaner in my area. Do you know of anybody? And Jim will get on the phone with the cleaners that are in his area and ask who's taking new clients on. And these are people that he's worked with for years. So he's actually working on developing a list of verified, qualified cleaners in each area that he does so that you can actually call and look online and see if there are verified, qualified cleaners in your area. And I thought to myself, that is such a huge thing for property managers because you guys have to deal with so many problems coming in at you all the time. And so I wanted to highlight that feature because that is a really big deal. That's, relationship. That's kind of what we're all about at VRM. So I just thought that was really cool because we're kind of made from the same stuff over here. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor for any questions that you guys might have for Jim or myself. And if there's anything that we didn't cover today that you would really like to know about, please feel free to let us know. We're really happy to answer any questions about this integration. Again, VRM, we're really excited about this. It's kind of a big deal. So as you guys are putting your questions in, you just click that little Q&A button and put your questions in for me. Then I would love to answer them for you, or have Jim answer them for you, rather. And then next month, we are going to be talking about, it's the new year. We're completely done with the holidays, thank goodness. And if you are looking for, normally we do taxes this time of year, but we had so many friends that we wanted to have on Tea with Bernili. We didn't get around to the taxes webinar, and really not that much changed. So we actually did a blog post on that. So if you guys are looking for that information, it's actually at virtualresortmanager.com/blog. And you can go on there and you can actually look at how to do your 1099s and all of that kind of stuff. And again, if you have any questions, always contact the help desk, because we're always here to help you guys. But what we're doing in January is we're actually going to talk about why improved property operations is the next big opportunity in vacation rentals. And this is going to be a really great webinar. So you guys can actually register for that. And all you have to do is go to bit.ly/TWBL 2017. I know I haven't updated the link yet because it's not technically 2018 yet. So, but 2018, that will update to TWBL 2018. So I really hope that I get to see you guys on that webinar. We also hope that you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It doesn't seem like we've had any questions come in, but if you guys have questions for Jim, please email those to me, Brittany@virtualresortmanager.com, and I will forward those on to him and get you the best answer possible. And I'll probably just send you his contact information so that you can contact him directly as well. I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone for being on today. I really appreciate you guys coming out. I've said this multiple times, but I want to be really, I want to be really clear and let you guys know, please, please, please let us know if you have topics or things that you would like talked about. We actually had one of our clients tell us on Tuesday that she would like more stuff about the accounting and bookkeeping end of things, because we haven't done enough of that. So those things are coming just for you, Kitty. Just shout out to Kitty right there. We are going to come up with those things. But if you guys need more information on things that we haven't covered on Tea with Bernili, please let us know. We are here to help you. We are here to make you successful. So yeah, that's pretty much everything for today. Thank you again, Jim, so much for coming on. It was amazing to have you as a guest, and it's been awesome to work with you as an integrated partner with VRM. So thank you very much for making time for this today.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure. And let me add this, if I may.
Absolutely.
The one thing that we didn't talk about is the future integration development. So now that we're integrated, this is just scratching the surface, and the as far as I hate that we didn't get Hunter in here, but what I believe Hunter would tell you is basically he's on autopilot. This is really the scheduling and all of that's really hands free for him. So they're just making sure that, looking at that periodically. And what we're able to do going forward is able to push information back, and that those developments are going to come from your ideas, and let us know what you need. And then we sit down and, our development team works with the great development team at VRM, and we're deciding how the best way to get you those features, and whether it's developed on our end and we push it back, or developed on their end and push it to us. So we're very excited about that. And thank you for bringing up the commitment to the cleaning companies. Please know this. When we ask somebody to park in a different spot, everybody does a backflip and kicks and screams. So if you tell your cleaning company, hey, we're going to, this is what we're going to use. I've been doing this long enough. I'm not crazy enough to believe that everybody's just excited about that on day one. I will tell you this. If it's a legitimate cleaning company and they're making a living doing this, they will get it quickly. We will save them so much time and money. On a cleaning company cleaning 100 properties, on average during their peak season, we save the principal owner of that company 20 to 25 hours a week. And we do that by the time we save them in two main areas. invoicing and payroll. And, every company's different, so it varies. But the point is, we are the customer service support for your cleaning companies. They don't have to call and ask you how to work this. They're going to contact us, and we're going to train them. I don't care if it takes 30 minutes, 30 days, or 3 years. We're going to stick with them, and they'll always have the support they need. So with that, I'll wrap it up, and look forward to your questions. Look forward for the opportunity to meet with you. Hopefully we get to work with you. And thank you again, Brittany. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jim. And I hope to see you guys in the new year. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I hope you guys have an amazing holiday season. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. Bye.